Thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching this live or you're going to watch this back or listen to us on any of the streaming services that we provided on, I wanted to talk a little bit around really resilience and clarity, to be honest, today. Originally, Kylie and I were going to talk a lot about being clear of your message and your branding and the importance of having a clear vision for your business. But obviously with the state that we're going in this week and the fact that some people are still, including my family, are stuck at their homes or unable to travel, not able to get even fresh food and are living pretty much off what they have in their house. Some people still don't have power. It is quite a tragic situation and challenging situation for everybody. And it's made me think this week. I myself have had kind of a really busy week this week and realized that how we show up on a daily basis can take a toll for us. And I was talking or chatting to Kylie on text yesterday on the few messages that she was able to send out. And while she is stuck and her community is in crisis, she has left her house on a scooter with her niece scooter to help out at a local nursing home and to support the community, setting up evacuation centers. And what it says to me is this level of resilience that we sometimes don't know we have. And it's a bit strange to be having this conversation on my own because I love the banter that Kylie and I share, and we think about where we draw our energy from. And I don't know where Kylie's reserve of energy comes from. It seems to be unlimited, but there'll be a point in time where this resilience starts to wane. And I think many people suffering at the moment in Northern New South Wales and Southeast Queensland and around the world are hitting that point of, how do I continue and how do I not burn out? How do I maintain my self-care and my self-energy while all these other things are going on? I know I suffer from that personally. I know I get, overwhelmed sometimes, even though I teach people how not to do that, we all suffer, in some ways, and we all have challenges. And so I kind of think today, and if anyone wants to put something in the chat today on the Facebook Live, please do so, and the girls will share it with me because I can't see that. And the guys who are joining us here on Zoom. The biggest thing I guess I wanted to share today is what is resilience? So, and how do we build resilience? So resilience is really that kind of energy store that we have in our ability to kind of see an opportunity or see a challenge and essentially move past it to create a way or develop strategies to move around. And those people who, have listened to me speak a lot or have been in my coaching programs know that I talk a lot about strategy and I talk a lot about processes and systems. And in some respect, building resilience is like building a new strategy. It can easily be developed and it's a habit that you actually create and you have to work on. Resilience doesn't just happen for us. It's something that we need to build. And for me personally, resilience comes from an understanding and some confidence and some clarity around what I'm trying to achieve and knowing what the outcome will be and knowing what I'm working towards, because then I can create this store of energy and then I can actually build and kind of keep drawing on that as I need to move forward. Now, I'm not sure if that's making sense to anyone listening to this, but for me, resilience is essentially like a ball of energy. And so sometimes it gets depleted. And if we're constantly pushed and pulled in lots of different ways, whether it's family or business or work or friends or just the context of the environment that we're living in, that energy store can get depleted and it can start to get smaller and smaller and smaller. So the importance right at the moment now, when we're challenged with all these external, pressures, is to say, okay, how do I stop, even for a small moment, to help restore that energy? What do I need to do to take myself back, sit in my own space or create a space where I can actually rebuild that energy? And that energy store comes from within. It doesn't come from an external environment. It doesn't come from people giving you resilience. It doesn't come from the energy from other people. It comes from your internal stores. So whether you're, in crisis at the moment or whether you're just suffering from overwhelm in your business on a day-to-day basis, taking a moment to think, well, what do I need to do to recharge? And think of it, your battery of your watch, whether it's your iPhone, your iPad, or your Garmin watch that you wear every day. How do we recharge that? We take it off, we plug it in, and we let it sit, and we let the battery fill up. So while we're all challenged at the moment and we're working to, either keep our home safe, keep our family safe, keep our business running, find new clients, connect with friends, make sure our family is okay, it's important that every single day we take some time to recharge for ourselves. Now, depending on how depleted your battery is and how depleted your energy stores is, you may only need 5 or 10 minutes a day for yourself. Now, for me, I go to gym every morning, and you've had me talk about that. And that's the way that I try and restore my energy, which I know seems strange because I'm expending all this energy for an hour. But in doing so, I find myself recharging. That activity in the morning helps me reset. It allows me to energize for the day. And then I come home, I make myself a cup of tea. I'll sit on the couch for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and I'll just let my body relax. I'll let my body recover from that training, prepare for the day. So that's how I recharge my batteries. Sometimes though, particularly when we're under a lot of pressure, and I have been with lots of business and clients lately, and lots of the work that we're doing is that we need a little bit more than that, but we don't recognize it. And we keep doing the same thing every day. And we wonder why at the end of the week or the end of the month or the end of the project, we're feeling more depleted than normal. And I feel like there's a lot of people at the moment who are currently feeling that they're at the end of their tether. We've had 2 years of COVID. We've had challenges with our family and our business and not being able to, to live free in our lives. And then now there comes the floods if you're in Southeast Queensland and Northern New South Wales. So how do we keep restoring this energy where we have to keep moving? So it's important to remember that even though all these things are happening, you still have control of yourself and your time and your response to it. And the more energy you store, you build, the more resilience that you can create internally, the more you have to give to the people around you, the more opportunity you'll have to respond to those people. And so one of the key activities around this is about saying, well, why do I need to build this? And I know it's kind of a long bow for some people, but for me, clarity, and if you go to my website, it says clarity is the answer to every problem. And it really is. Because when we think about resilience, we go, what am I building resilience for? Why do I need this energy store? Why do I have to have this every day to be able to keep moving forward? Having a really clear vision and clarity around your own personal purpose or your family mission or your connection to your community or whatever that drives you on a daily basis, that is a store of energy for you. So the more clear you are about your purpose in life or your purpose in the world, it actually gives you energy to draw from, and that helps you build resilience. Now, I know that's a very strange connection, but it really does, for me at least, work, because I'm thinking to myself, how do I constantly build this? Now, I know there's a lot of other psychological and medical conversations and theories around what resilience is, but for me, it's energy. For me, it's about my ability to keep going in the face of challenge. It's my ability not to bounce back, but to bounce forward. It's not to say that something's happened, so I have to bounce back after something happens. If we bounce back, we're behind where we were. But if we choose to bounce forward and strong resilience allows us to bounce forward, it actually puts us in a better position. Now, that might seem strange at the moment with people, and and I'm blessed. We only had a ceiling fall in one room. We haven't lost everything. We haven't lost all our possessions. We haven't been challenged as much as many people have. However, even in all of that, having clarity about my family is central. My purpose in life is to serve, or whatever that drives you, allows you to rebuild that store and take some time. Now, I'm hoping that's resonating with anybody who's watching today, because for me, it's been a really, something that's been on my mind a lot this week. I'm here in Brisbane. My family is down at home and on country in Baggerville. They have had no power for 4 days. They have had, they only have dry food. They can't get actually fresh food in because there's a large water, blocking the road, and they can't actually get across unless they can find someone with a boat or some form of, ship to get it across. And so I'm sitting here going, I'm, a bit sad that I can't do my washing and, that we have a hole in our ceiling. Yet my mother calls me and is like, yeah, we're doing really well. Where things are happening. We can't do very much about it. We drive the car around to charge the phone and we're doing really well. And I listen to the way that she's responding, and there's a little bit of fear in there, understandably. But she is so stoic. She is so strong in the moment because she knows that this will pass. She knows that she has the family. She has my 2 sisters with her. She is being strong. They're all being strong together. So they're helping each other through this. And that's what we do as a community. And again, that comes back to clarity of purpose and mission and who we are as individuals. And resilience comes from that. And so I guess I urge and I invite people who are listening and who are watching today, and we're not going to do necessarily a full 30 minutes today conversation, but really it's around saying, how do we actually take moments for ourselves in an environment where we feel like we can't? I want you to give yourself permission. I'm inviting you rather to give yourself permission to take a few moments for yourself, to cry if you need to be fearful if you want to have those moments of just, oh my gosh, what's happening? And allow that to come out, because what will be restored after it is a sense of peace, of going, okay, that's done. Now there's an opportunity for us to move forward. We can move forward, and we will. We've got, up here in Brisbane, we're activating what they call the Mud Army up here, because we've had the floods from 2011, and people are coming out to support each other and help them get through this. Now, that's only in a physical sense, of course, but knowing there are people around to support you, knowing there are people here when this comes through, when you come through this, and you will come through this, is saying to yourself that there is opportunity for me to have this resilience. I can take a moment, I can take stock, and I can continue and move forward. So there's a couple of ways that I do resilience, and I build my own resilience. One, I recognize when it's getting low. I recognize when my energy stores are depleted, and I try, and my team will be watching this going, do you try? But I really do try to take a moment for myself and go, okay, let's try and recharge. So whatever you need to do for that, whether it's read a book, listen to a book, just have 5 minutes on your own with a cup of tea, be able to walk, if you're able to walk with your dog, or take your family for a walk for 5 minutes and just, look at the sky and just be. I find that a really great way to actually help recharge myself and my energy. The second thing is knowing that this is only a temporary thing. This feeling of depletion, this feeling of a lack of energy is only temporary. And just like a battery, it will recharge. And it may take a little longer than normal, but you will have that recharge. So knowing and being confident and comfortable that this will happen and you will get through this is a really important thing to remember. And thirdly, draw on the people around you. This, as to build resilience, yes, it's an internal thing, but knowing there are other people who are in the community doing the similar thing actually gives you some strength, actually gives you some resilience and helps you build it. And for me, those three things allow us to move forward. They allow us to be vulnerable. They allow us to be brave in times of, absolute challenge, but they also allow us to grow. And we don't bounce back, we bounce forward. And the more resilience we have, the more we will be able to bounce forward through this and through anything else that comes up with you in your business, in your life, or whatever it may be. So I'm hoping that served you guys today. I am very sad that Kylie wasn't able here to join us this conversation, because I know for her resilience is something that she has incredibly in spades. But we all have these moments. And while Kylie and all our amazing people from Northern New South Wales who are, struggling through these times, our heart goes out to you. And I really hope that we get to see you next week, and you join us next week for a Bite-Sized Conversations next week. And stay in touch with us on Facebook. I know Kylie is still reaching out when she can on Facebook, as is a number of our other members. If you need help or support, please feel free to reach out to us. We're here to support you. We are part of your community, and we want to be able to do that as we go forward. So thank you very much for joining us for this very short, singular bite-sized conversation with myself. I'm Jenni Walke from Elephant in the Room Consulting, and thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you next week, and please stay safe. Thank you so much.